where you turn on the microphone. Okay, yes. Where there's only one rule, you drink what you roll. Um, a little rushed tonight because apparently YouTube decided to change everything. So for the last 9 episodes, I've went in, say start streaming, and I click on the set up stream button, and it says, hey, use same stuff from last week. Yes, I just changed the title, updating the number. And then it's got the button says, let us know when you're ready to go live. It didn't do that. They changed the interface, and when you go to the stream, it started the stream. So some of you may have been treated to a little bit of conversation with YouTube that I was having. Anyway, that's all behind us now, and we will do the rolling. So yeah, I was not, ooh, not so bad. A4. So that will be 4 shots of, again, the Nigori Creme Sake. Because that one was actually, oh, enjoyable last time. It's very humid. So it's slippery. Okay. 4 shots. So that means we're doing a medium one again. Kanpai. This one's a little more nail polishy, if you know what I mean. This bottle. So how have you been? Is the live chat actually alive? You never know. Push the button that says make the live chat live again. That was 2, right? 2. Losing track of everything here. And I have something else going on after this show is over, so little hair on it there. But at least it is good and cold. And there are 3 watching now. Hitting the like button. So there's 1 like. There should be 3. Okay, that is 4. Pretty sure. It's weird having no sound at all. But I'm seeing by the thing there that the sound is going out, so you do hear me. Like I said, it's very frustrating. Oh, by the way, I forgot to do that. Yeah, it did it. There's a lag between what really happens and what comes over YouTube. Okay, so the 3 4s are in here. And it will be this one. Uh-huh. It looks like we're attempting to make mochi. So what do we need to do? Get the water that's way over there. Put the stuff in there. Hydrate the mochi. Dip in the stuff and eat it. So, choco kinako mochi. Nice. So it's going to be chocolate, and kinako is roasted soybean powder. And if you've never tasted it before, it tastes a lot like peanut butter. I mean, it's a similar type of nut, and it's roasted, so that it tastes similar is not surprising. Yeah. Okay, they've sort of denatured a bit. Uh-huh. How badly out of date is this one? November 2019. It's been a while. And this is supposed to get really gooey. Okay. So we'll reach over and get the water. That I probably didn't have on here because last time I had water ready and then we didn't need it. But this time, there is water needed. Go away. Okay. And there are the mochi tablets. So, step 1, do not water the mochi. Step 1 is pour the goo. Oh, fork. Step 1 is pour the goo into the things. Is there a... There it is. They always make one. Miss the garbage can. Good job. Okay. So pour the chocolate. You know, this kit would be worth it just for the Kanako powder. I'm really good on desserts of my own making. Okay, and where is it on this one? No. There it is. Of course, I tipped it all to the wrong end. And pour the Kanako. I mean, that would be the one that would be most... The one that would be most suspect, just because it's actually a real thing. So let's just see how the Kanako has held up. We're good. Okay, so I've poured those in there. Now, Yoiraku, Kanaku, Naru, Made. Nope. I'm reading most of it. I'm okay there, and then they... Oh no, they've got it over... I like when they do the kanji and then they put the hiragana over top, and which point I'm saying, well, why didn't you just write the hiragana in the first place rather than having all the characters? Anyway, yes, mizu. Here's the mizu. Okay. Drops. 4 shots of sake in, and I'm supposed to put little drops of water on them. Okay. Which way do I need to move it? This way? Towards me, yes. Yes. And then we can see it better. Okay. Drop. 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 Out of water. I don't know how much... How long am I supposed to wait here? So yeah, and also because I have the other thing that I'm doing starting at 9 o'clock tonight, like an hour after, I don't have the ukulele. Is the live chat working or not? Yes, just nobody saying anything. Okay, so we're supposed to wait for the mochi to rehydrate. I'm pretty sure that's what they're saying. Do we have a time? A minutes at all? Mizu o tapui kakemasu. Okay. How long? Is it instant? I don't see minutes. I don't see anything. Darn. So, how's things with you? Oh boy. Yeah, so I fired up YouTube, and the title wasn't even the title. And every week the title has been the title. Everything has already been there. And it just wasn't. So it was a little disconcerting. Okay, it's getting kind of... Oh no. It's all sticking together. Okay, mochi is sticky, and that... Yeah. Okay, it is definitely turning very mochi-like. I think I should have taken some of them out rather than doing them all on the pile of tablets, because the water is definitely hydrating it back into being mochi. It needs more water. It needs more water. It shows on the picture only soak like half the tablet. That was probably, what you would do if it was still in date. If it's not in date, you might need to give it a little bit more help to make it mochiify. So we'll just give some more water. Totemo mizu. Very water. Good. That's good Japanese for you. Your lessons are really paying off. Okay. They're not mushying yet. They're the parts that have got water are going mushy, but the parts that aren't are staying really stiff. So, what's the worst that could happen? Blurp. Well, it all turns into soup is the worst that could happen. Okay. There we go. See that's that's mochi like now. Yeah, it really needed a lot more water. Okay. Then dip it in the chocolate. Okay. And then in the kineko. This might be really good. This might be actually the best tasting one I've had. Or it might be gone off slightly. Okay, that's the first one where this has been an issue. I think it's because this is more real ingredients. This might actually be real, like real rice mochi dried. And now it's a glob. And it doesn't taste quite. There's a little bit of an aftertaste to it that shouldn't be there, is what I'm trying to say. Is it the mochi or is it the chocolate? I think it's the mochi. The kineko seems to be okay. Get more chocolate on there to cover up the taste of the mochi because it's subpar. And that one's partially still on dehydrator. Yeah. So, November 2019, for the mochi one, maybe not so much. I'll still give it another shot. There's a big warning. Gochoi. What? What are you warning me? There's like a big bunch of warning. Look at all the warning they're giving me. Which quite possibly is saying, if this is out of date, don't eat it. You could die. Do I see she in there? Which is Japanese for die? No, they're not going to say don't eat it or you'll die. Obviously not. Nope, no idea. I know the whole thing has 120 calories. 1.3 grams of tanpoku. Don't know what that is. Definitely not salt. Not sugar. Salt is sho. Sugar sato. So no, it's not either one of those. I don't know what's in it. Surprise, surprise. But, oh, yeah, okay, that's definitely mochi now. I don't know if it's like it doesn't taste like that agar stuff. You know, that, if you've ever had the agar stuff, you know, it's got, once they rehydrate the agar and it turns into the gel, I think it's a lot like a cold potato in texture. This isn't. This has that mochi texture. So, it's better when it's been longer. So, there probably was a time, but I didn't see. Like I know what the kanji for minutes looks like. It looks kind of like sort of like a stylized cuttlefish in tune, but I didn't see that there. So it's not. It wasn't telling me in minutes. I'm trying to get these apart. Oh, no, they're not coming apart. That's for sure. We need more water though. This is soaking up a lot of water, and now it's sticking to my teeth. This is going so well. Oh, and yeah, because I've got something else going, I don't want to get the ukulele out and end up going too long. Because, I mean, I suppose I've got an app on the tablet that I could use that is it Ukulele Tabs? It might be just called Ukulele Tabs. Anyway, it's a repository of like thousands of songs. There's lots of popular songs. Like anytime a new hit song comes out, somebody's put tabs for ukulele right away. Obviously, those would be not so good because I have no idea how they sound, so I wouldn't be able to play them properly. But there's also a lot of older songs too. That is where I learned Hotel California. It was actually on there. Um, and pretty much everything that I have learned, I learned from there. Some of them, no. Some of them I learned from John on YouTube, the ukulele teacher. Search him, the ukulele teacher. He's been doing it for about 7 years, and he's really good at showing you like strumming patterns and what all the chords are, and taking you through each chord one at a time. Now it looks like mochi, freshly made mochi. And I learned a fair bit from him because what um, there's some rocky stuff in there. But I think it really is mochi. And I think it is really like rice mochi dried, and then the water obviously reconstitutes it into mochi. It's it's as slimy as it is because of the amount of water I put on. Because it's so old, it was taking extra water to rehydrate. Excuses, excuses, excuses. But boy, am I glad I got this mat. The Kanako is really good though. I do enjoy that flavor. Like I said, it's a lot like peanut butter. It's also a sweeter Kanako because they've got sugar mixed in with it. They don't normally. Anyway, so that's that. But back to John teaching. Yeah, I did some of the songs that I have. I did learn from him. A couple Beatles songs and that sort of thing that I learned on his channel. Because sometimes he has alternate fingerings. They've never helped me. His E, I generally play the E seventh instead of the E because the E is weird because there's a finger here and here and here. It's like a weird. Yeah, I know it looks like I'm just making a fist. No, there's one finger here on this one. There's all the way across, and then there's one in the middle. It's weird. It's a weird chord. It's hard to get. So I play the E7 instead. But he shows one where he bars the fourth fret, and then the number one string, which is the bottom one for some reason. I was thinking you should count them away from you as you're looking down, 1, 2, 3, 4, rather than anyway. And he says, then the seventh fret and four. It doesn't really sound as much like an E to me as playing it the proper way. And I find barring and getting the seventh is actually harder to do. Probably because of the size of my fingers, sadly. Like the E chord is 2, 3, and 4 all on the second fret. And if I play it with these three, how you're supposed to, my fingers are too big and I can't fret all of them. So I have to play it with these three so I can get my little finger on there instead. And it still sometimes sounds wrong, as you may have noticed. But, sake coming back. Yeah, so I learned some from him and some chords from him. I mean, I started out, I got the ukulele. I think I paid $40 for my first one, bought it on Amazon. And I got it just to see if it was going to be something that I could do. Because guitar is 6 strings, there's only 4 fingers. 6 strings, 4 fingers. You already see a problem? So, for me anyway, especially since I'm left-handed, but I didn't restring the guitar and play it, so I'm picking this hand and fingering with this hand. I play it the normal way, with fretting with this hand and strumming with this hand. So it was a little more difficult, and when I started learning guitar, there was no internet to have somebody to teach you, so I had to just learn on my own, which means I never really got very good at it. Doesn't matter how many bands I was in, I was still never any good. So I got the ukulele for cheap, and at that time it was just starting to have some stuff online, like starting to get tabs, which is tabulature, which is, if you've seen that famous kit, it's the little dots on top of the music that show where to put your fingers to make chords. So I would start with the simplest stuff, because a C chord is 1 finger. An F chord is 2 fingers. And then I mastered the G, which is 3 fingers. And if you know C, F, and G, you know pretty much most classic rock songs already. You know almost everything that CCR plays. Add a couple more chords, maybe. So I started learning things that were just 3 chords, and then I would add another chord in. Okay, something was have an A minor. A minor is also 1 finger. I can do that, and just slowly adding it to see if I could get it. And I was getting it, obviously, since you've heard I can actually play halfway decently sometimes. So I actually upgraded from that. I went to the actual music store and got a Kala that had a built-in pickup, because I thought, oh, good, then I can run it through my amp. But acoustic pickups is basically a microphone, and when you're doing finger picking, you tend to do a little more rubbing on the strings as you're plucking a little bit, and you can hear all of that. It picks a lot. So, oh well, the pickup, never going to use. But it also had a built-in tuner, which was nice, and that was my main ukulele. And the first one I had that I got off Amazon, I actually took to the music store, and when I bought the Kala, I just gave them, and say, I'm not trading in anything. Just give this to like a student that's learning out. This somebody who's like wants to pick up the ukulele and wants to buy one. Just give them this one. They probably ended up selling it instead of giving it, but whatever. But it was like, I don't need 2 ukuleles. I say, staring at 5, 6 over there now. So for a while I was playing the Kala all the time. Where's some time? Time. Why does it? There it is. Okay, lots of time for a long-winded story. It's story time for old folks. So for the longest time I was playing the Kala all the time, and when I decided to go to Japan, that's a whole different story. We're not going to get into that right now. One of the things I wanted to do was get a ukulele from Japan, because I thought that would be an interesting souvenir, something that I would definitely use, which I do. And the ukulele store I found was probably a higher end ukulele store. I have since found better places to go. See next trip next year. But the one I found there the brand is called Famous, and it's only made in Japan. And if I was going to get one, I wanted one that was made in Japan, not one imported to Japan to be sold. I wanted one that, to get it, you have to go there, and they don't export it. If you want a Famous brand ukulele from Japan, you have to go to Japan. So that seemed like it would be an interesting thing. I got there. Yeah, there's a whole story about that day. But I got there and bought it. It was actually, it was on sale. There was some sort of sale going on. Either that or she just took pity on me, one or the other. I'm pretty sure there was a sale going on. So I got it a little cheaper than I thought. It was still, as I said, the most expensive ukulele I have bought to date. And played it, and the shop owner was American, so he was speaking English with me, so I wasn't having a lot of Japanese, though the woman who was running the shop when I got there had a little bit of English, so it was, and my Japanese was very, very, very little at that time. Let's see, the chicken story of fame. Anyway, so we were going through that, and then he was showing me stuff, and had that done. And also bought the strings, because the strings that were on it, even though they're not Japanese strings, now I found they're made somewhere else and sold by them as a big brand. I can't remember the name right now, sorry, but they sounded really good. And I actually did a video of 3 different price point ukuleles, because I have one that friends gave me for Christmas. It was sort of like a joke gift, but it's still a ukulele. It has skulls all over it. If you've seen that video, you've seen it. And that was along this similar price to the one that I first bought on Amazon. So I have the entry price level, then a little higher, and then the Famous brand is probably the low end of the more professional style. Not really up there, because you can spend $4,000 or $5,000 on a ukulele. I didn't do that, but you can. The Famous is not at that end of the spectrum. Anyway, so I did the comparison of the 3, and then I restrung the least expensive one with the same strings that were on the most expensive one, and played it again so you could see the difference that different strings make. Now, since then, I had seen John, the ukulele teacher, playing a banjolele, which is banjo body, so that tympanum, I think. It's like the drum head, so it gives it. And other than that, it's tuned like a ukulele with 4 strings, but it's shaped like a banjo, so it has a really bright sound. And wow, is it loud! One of these times soon, I will bring that one down because it's a really, it sounds like a banjo, only you can play it like a ukulele. So I just need to learn some more picking styles to make it sound more banjo-like. Anyway, so I got that, and then again, John, curse him, played a bass ukulele on his channel and said, "Would they make a bass ukulele? Well, I got to get one of those." So yes, though there's the Skulls one, the Kala one, the famous one, the Banjolele, bass ukulele, and then what you saw last week. It wasn't John. It was again somebody playing a 12-string guitar, and it was wondering, do they make ukuleles or 8-string then? And they did, and so I got, and so yeah, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ukuleles. But they're not all. None of them are the same. It's not like they're, 5 concert ukuleles. Just this one's blue, that one's green, this one was more money. They're the banjolele, the bass, and the 8-string tenor are all different. And that's my reason. That's my justification for having them. So yes, when we go to Japan next year, hopefully in the spring, I will be going to the back streets behind Meiji University, where there are a lot of used music stores and lower level music stores for students to buy ukuleles. And I saw in a video that John Only in Japan Go did, he was walking by, and he walked by slow enough that I could see in the window, and I saw the price of one that was 6,000 yen. And remember to convert the rough conversion for yen to Canadian or US dollars. I know they're slightly different. Is just move the decimal place over. So that was $60. So I know it's not going to sound great, but it's only $60, and I don't really mind spending $60 on a ukulele, especially when we're probably going to be in Japan for a month, and if I don't practice for a month, I'm going to go crazy. So anyway, long-winded story that you're all still here and watching. I can't believe you're watching this. Anyway, so yeah, that was it. Slightly out-of-date mochi. I'll let you know in a tweet later if I regret that. But, so that's it for today. 4 shots. The die is rolling better. We still haven't seen the elusive 6. But I'm starting to get lower on the old stuff. So, again, got to go back to Japan and get some more DIYs. Or get somebody in Japan to hook me up with some. Huh? No. So, yeah, so we will see you next week for another episode of DIY Roll, where there's only one rule: you drink what you roll.